Good morning, class 9 children, and welcome to your chemistry class today. As we see that today we are again going on with the periodic table, the study of the periodic table. In video 3, we had studied about Henry Moseley, the modern periodic table that he gave to us, and what is periodicity of properties. We saw how the properties at regular intervals are repeated of the elements, and this was periodicity of properties. Then we saw the reasons for periodicity of properties. Then we saw some periodic properties like atomic radii, ionization potential, electron affinity, and we saw the definitions of these. We studied about 7 periods and 18 groups of modern periodic table. If you see here, this was the modern periodic table in which we studied from closer. We will have a look. We studied there were 7 periods, horizontal periods, and there were 18 vertical columns here in the long form of periodic table of elements that we studied last time. Now we see that in the periodic table there were metallic and non-metallic characteristics of elements. We studied about some characteristics of periods and groups. We studied about representative elements last time, and we found these in group 1 and group 2, and we also saw group 13 to 17 also contained representative elements. Let us see in the periodic table. This side, these elements in group 1 and group 2, these are representative elements, and then from group 13 to group 17, these are called representative elements also. So this we saw last time. Now there are some characteristics of representative elements. They include both metals and non-metals. Here in the periodic table, these are the metals, children, and these are the non-metals that we looked at. In periods, we move from metallic elements on left to non-metallic elements on the right. As I told you, these are metallic elements, and as we move from left hand side to the right hand side, we move from metallic to non-metallic elements across the periods. Then we see that the represented elements, they form electrovalent as well as covalent compounds with non-metals. Like NaCl is an electrovalent compound, Na is metal, and chlorine is non-metal. And then we see that there are covalent compounds formed with non-metals. Then we see metallic nature increases as we are moving down any of the 7 groups. These 7 groups that we talked about, which were these groups? First, second, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17 groups. So when we come down these 17 groups, then the metallic character increases from top to bottom. Then we see that metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, and these are found in group 1, which are alkali metals, group 2, which are alkaline earth metals. Then we saw that non-metals in group 16 and 17, these ones 16 and 17, these 2 groups, they are non-conductors or bad conductors of heat and electricity. Then we come to the transition elements or the D block elements. If we look at it closely, they are included in groups 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In the periodic table, we can see groups 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All these are known as transition elements. Now, what are the main characteristics? We will be able to understand what are transition elements. These elements are metals with high melting and boiling points. Then we see they are good conductors of heat and electricity, and some of these elements are attracted to magnet like iron, nickel, etc. Then we see most of these elements are used as catalysts. As we can see, iron is used as catalyst, platinum is used as catalyst, nickel is used as catalyst. Most of these elements, they exhibit variable valencies. Why? Because all these metallic elements, they not only have their outermost shell incomplete, but the penultimate or the shell inner to the outermost shell also as incomplete. So they show variable valency. Then we see another point of these transition elements, that most of these elements, they form colored ions and colored compounds. Then we see inner transition elements. Inner transition elements are the F block elements, the elements of the 6th and the 7th periods of group 3, that is the lanthanide and the actinides, are collectively known as the inner transition elements. Do you see these lanthanide elements from atomic number 57 to atomic number 71? These are found in the 3rd group of the 6th period, and also the 3rd group of the 7th period. The actinide series start from atomic number 89 to atomic number 103. So we see here that these are known as inner transition elements. The main characteristics of these are they are heavy metals with high melting and boiling points. Then they show variable valencies also, just like transition elements. Then we see that the inner transition elements, they form colored ions too. Then we see actinides and the series of actinide elements, these are radioactive in nature. Do you see the actinide series here that are put at the base of this periodic table? The actinide series, they form radioactive elements here. Then we see inert gas or the noble gas. If you see the 18th group, which is also known as the 0 group here, this is the 18th vertical column, and these are known as the inert gas or the noble gas. They have helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, then radon, and they have 8 electrons in the outermost shell, except helium, which has got only 2 electrons in its outermost shell. They do not react with other elements. They are also known as monoatomic molecules because they are inert and they do not react with any other atom of any other element. Then we see post-transition elements. Which are post-transition elements? Up till here we saw were transition elements. All these blue ones you see are transition elements. Post-transition means these come after the transition elements. So all these are post-transition elements from group 13 onwards towards the right hand side are all post-transition elements. The elements from 13 to 16 elements are post-transition elements. Normal elements are those which are found in group 1, 2, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17, and these are elements are called normal elements because with all shells they are complete except the outermost shell, which is incomplete. So they are known as normal elements. They contain metals, metalloids. Metalloids are those which show the properties both of metals as well as non-metals, and they contain non-metals. Then we see bridge elements. What are bridge elements? The second period. You see here, this is the second period, children, and this is the third period, children. So all those elements which are diagonally the same, showing similar properties, are bridge elements. These elements in the next group, such elements are called bridge elements having diagonal relationships. Like we see lithium, beryllium, boron and carbon. They come in period 2, and then we have In period 3, sodium, magnesium, aluminium and silicon. So lithium and magnesium show similar properties. These are bridge elements or diagonal elements. Then beryllium and aluminium show similar properties. Then we see that boron and silicon show similar properties. Then there are some merits of the periodic table. This periodic table, which was created by Henry Moseley, it is based on the atomic numbers, which is an even better fundamental property compared to the atomic masses. The position of an element in the table is related to its electronic configuration. Each element is set one after the other according to the increasing atomic number. It shows regular changes in properties of elements on moving across a period or down a group. Cause of periodicity is recurrence of similar electronic configuration showing similar properties. Then the fourth aspect about the merits of periodic table is that the modern periodic table is easier to remember, understand and reproduce. But there are still some defects left in the modern periodic table. The position of hydrogen is still not satisfactory, as it is shown here in 1A group, in group 1, and hydrogen is also shown here in the 17th group. So because hydrogen is shown at both the places, so its position is not clear. Then the second defect of modern periodic table is it fails to accommodate the inner transition elements. The lanthanides and the actinides, these are not accommodated inside the table, but these have to be kept outside the main body of the periodic table at the base. Then we see there are general trends in the periodic table, like in the groups, number of shells and valence electrons, valency, property of elements, atomic size, metallic characters, and in periods, which are horizontal rows, we see number of shells, number of electrons in valence shells, we see the valency and size of atoms, properties of elements and metallic character. These are some of the general trends that will change down the groups from top to bottom or across the periods from left to right. These we will discuss in the next part of our video. So children, we will stop the study here. Wish you all the best. Thank you.